What's up, everybody? Joe White here, and I have just confirmed that not this week, because I'm taping it Friday when New Search Live is going to be released, and I will have New Search Live up for you on Friday, 1640 PWPR, facebook.com/1640 PWPR. Subscribe to the Spreaker channel. Subscribe to this YouTube page. Everything and anything that is New Search Live, whether it be the videos I release during the week, the video version of New Search Live at the end of the week, or even the MP3 version that you can download and listen to on your mobile device or your MP3 player. Do people have MP3 players anymore? I don't know. 1640 PWPR. It's facebook.com/1640 PWPR. Also, again, follow me on Twitter at Wrestling Truck. Links to everything are going to be at the end of this video, but the reason why I'm making this video is to announce that we will have a guest on an upcoming episode of New Search Live. Phenom Phil Stamper, aka Nate Stein, for those of you who are CZW fans, will be joining us. I'm going to be taping the interview this Friday. If you know about Phil Stamper, then you know he's quite a character, and he's a really damn good guy. I've known him for years. We're going to have fun with this interview. If you have any questions for Phil, or Nate, whichever he likes being called this week, please go ahead and drop them in an email to us with the subject line "Questions for Phil" at newsearchlive@yahoo.com. We'll be able to get them in on Friday. Also, you can tweet your questions to @WrestlingTruck. That's me. Put hashtag questions for Phil, and we'll get back. We'll read them. New Search Live, facebook.com/New Search Live. You can visit us there. Give us a like this video here on YouTube. I really want to see this YouTube channel grow. I was informed by King Firehawk, and I got some news here today that really it really made me proud, and I really want to send a big thank you, because I know there are YouTube artists out there and YouTubers out there that in the gaming community and in the wrestling community that they may not see this as a big deal, but I do. Because of the fact that it's gone so well, that in the couple of months that we've been associated, I think it's only been about a month that we've been associated with 1640 PWPR, facebook.com/1640 PWPR. Our episodes cumulatively have gotten over 840 views. That means 840 people have listened to my voice in the last month. I'm very humbled. I want to tell you guys thank you so much. And with that, I'm happy to be able to tell you guys that, and this is not knocking anybody else on the network, but it makes me proud to be able to tell you this, that New Search Live is the #1 radio show on 1640 PWPR in that network. Thank you guys so much for getting us to the top here. Let's continue to make it go. Also, go listen to the other shows that are there. Ken Reedy has a show over there. Mike Ferrara Speaks. He's a little green. Bear with him. He's growing. Also, you have King Firehawk's show over there. We're getting, it's new content coming out every single day on facebook.com/1640 PWPR. Thank you guys so much for making our show #1. And I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to give my thoughts here on some video game thoughts and some wrestling thoughts here, and we'll be right back. Stay with us. You're watching New Search Live, the mini-sode, as I guess I'll call these from now on. But thank you guys so much. I'm speechless. When I asked Pat today, hey, can we get the numbers for our show and find out how we're doing? And he goes, yeah, sure, go hang on. And when he told me that over 840 people have listened or downloaded this thing, that right here, man, because that's phenomenal. Thank you guys so much. We'll be right back.
What's happening? My name's Bear, and this is me Big Blue Kent, so if you can be asked coming in, come in, lad, come and have a look. Right, first of all, what the fucking hell is that? That's a dirty fart, that, you dirty, dirty bastards. It was you, you dirty cunt. Good job, because I was going to fucking shove a Mountain Dew bottle up your ass then, you soft cuds. Alright, you mousy bastard, have you figured out how to put a Malteser up your ass yet? Aye, you bear, I'm trying to smell this chest piece, because this thing's a shit. I've been debating on whether to go for it or not, you big blue twat, but you know, I'm gonna do it now. That smells like me gooch after a game of footy. Sometimes when you get a sudden urge inside your stomach, you need a shit, so you go to the bog or the potty. It doesn't really matter, like, but you can spell a potty if you want, but when you need a shit, just take a dirty dump in the bog, on a bird or a rabbit, maybe even a ladybird, or a fish. Fish bowl red twat, doesn't really matter, like. Where the fuck are you, mouse? I haven't seen you for ages, like. Oh, bear, I had a vindaloo and it's coming out like water. When I have Weetabix in the morning, that makes me shit as well. I'm done now, bear, so let me wipe my ass on your dick. I'm done now, bear. I'm done now, bear, so let me wipe. I'm done now, bear, so let me wipe. I'm done.
You never know what you're going to get here on the YouTube channel here for New Search Live. 1640 PWPR, facebook.com/1640 PWPR. Again, you know, I want to talk a little bit about E3 and the impact it had, specifically with Nintendo. Nintendo, guys, you're hitting it right on the vein with gamers, man, with this Amiibo thing. They announced today, which I was hoping that they would, and for anybody who listened to a previous, you know, episode here on the YouTube channel knows that I was asking for, hey, you said at the beginning of the whole Amiibo thing last year at E3 that you would, you know, have special things with Skylanders and Disney Infinity. And they announced this morning, let me adjust this camera here. They announced this morning at E3 that Bowser and who else? Well, Donkey Kong are going to be playable characters in Skylanders with their Amiibo. They have specifically designed Amiibo for Donkey Kong and Bowser for the Skylanders game, and that's kind of cool. My girlfriend's sons tried Skylanders. He bought the first, you know, he bought the ones that you switch the tops and bottoms with right after they did the Giants thing. And I liked it, I'll be honest with you. It was cool being able to plunk down and play different characters, and the toys actually looked pretty cool. But it just is, to me, it's not, you know, it's a way to pull money out of your wallet, because those things are expensive. I mean, we went to go buy him some for Christmas, and some of these damn things around Christmas time, around 2 years ago, they wanted $20, $30 for these things. I do own only one Amiibo, and that's Metal Mario. And I found that the only thing he does in Mario Kart 8 is give your me a Mario suit that he can wear, like a Mario style suit. With Mario Maker, it's going to be totally different. But getting back to the Skylanders thing, they have these bases that turn, and I guess it basically turns which chip is on and which is off, to where they could go from being Skylanders to being regular Amiibo. And you could touch them, and it's just like owning a Bowser or a Donkey Kong Amiibo. Awesome stuff. I like that. You're basically getting two products in one. You're getting a Skylander and you're getting an Amiibo, all in one. Beautiful, beautiful job by Nintendo. And I believe who does Skylanders? Somebody let me know in the comments below. I don't really keep up with it all that much, so that's why I'm kind of clueless about it. But I like it. I would love to see Mario inside Disney Infinity. Can you imagine Mario and Disney working together? Can you imagine being Luke Skywalker and having fucking Mario next to you? Anyway, I would not be surprised. It's coming, you know. And more power to Nintendo, and more power to these other companies for getting in the mix and kind of, you know, interchanging with each other and willing to work with Nintendo a little bit. That would be phenomenal, because the more companies that can get their shit together and partner up, the more money they stand to make. And the more money they make, the more content they're going to produce. And the more content they produce, the happier we are as consumers and are willing to give you the money. That's the way basic commerce works, guys. It's the way fan service works even. Give us what we fucking want. We'll go out and buy it. You can keep our money. We'll enjoy the products that you're putting out, as long as they're good products. Because we will tell you when you fuck up, and we will stop giving you your money. We proved that with those mods on Steam a while back. I'm not into modding, but anyway, Fallout 4 is going to be accepting mods on the 360. Big whoop. I'm a firm believer of, if you don't like the game the way it is, don't play it. You know, but that's just me. Another thing at E3 that we got was Mario Maker. Oh my god. If you go back and watch my Mario Maker video that I posted a while back, I even said things like it would be amazing to play as Zelda. It would be amazing to play as Samus. It would be amazing to play as Kid Icarus or Kirby or something like that in Mario levels. Now, granted, the only thing that they showed today was Zelda, Wii Fit Trainer. They showed Pit, I want to say, and a couple of other Yoshi. You could play as just Yoshi. Now, granted, it's Mario. It's still the same thing as Mario. It's like different skins, I want to say, but and the way they're getting you again, tapping into your fucking veins in your fucking wallet, is that in order to become these, you have to own the amiibo associated with them. Some people are going to say, well, that's just plain retarded. I shouldn't have to go out and buy another accessory to get this, and it's DLC, and it is. It's fucking DLC, guys. But let's be honest. But it's smart DLC, because if you could buy a Kid Icarus or whatever, and they work with 3 or 4 more freaking games, that's 3 or 4 more bits of DLC that you're practically getting for free. You pay the $13 for Amiibo, and if you own all the other games, you're getting that DLC with them too. It's beautiful. My son wants Mario Party 10. He wants Super Smash Brothers. Ever since he played those 2 games at Geeksboro the other day, he's been asking about them, and he's going to get them for his birthday. He wants Mario Party 10 as well. Metal Mario works with Mario Party 10. In fact, it's marketed to work with Mario Party 10 on the box. So right there's 3 games. You're going to buy the games for the damn thing anyway. They're good games on their own, but if you happen to go out and spend the extra $13, you divide, let's see, you have Mario Maker, you have maybe Yoshi's Woolly World if they do something with that, because there was Amiibo announced with it. You have Mario Maker, Yoshi's Woolly World, you got Mario Kart 8, you got Super Smash Brothers, and Mario Party 10. You take that $15 and divide it by, it's $3 a piece for the DLC. $3. You're taking $15 for that Amiibo and spreading it across those 5 games which you're going to buy anyway. $3 a pop in one figure. You know, some people are, Nintendo, if they really wanted to be stingy with this DLC crap, they could sit there and say, okay, if you want your Amiibo to do this in this video game, give us $15. But they're not. It's all interchangeable per game. Star Fox, I would love to see some kind of Amiibo with Star Fox, but I mean, that's not really a game targeted for Amiibo, I guess, but I'm looking forward to playing Star Fox. The shit that they showed at E3 today is amazing. I didn't really, now here's one thing about Nintendo that I don't like, and I know it's a Japanese company, so it kind of goes with the territories, all these anime games. I'm not a big, I like Sailor Moon. I watched Pokemon growing up and Digimon growing up, so I kind of got into that. But I don't sit there and read mangas or anything like that. There was a big manga, whatever you pronounce it, festival this past Sunday in Greensboro, North Carolina that I wanted to go, or Saturday that I didn't have any interest in going in because it's not my cup of tea. If I go, it's just to see the cosplayers because I enjoy seeing what people come up with. But it's just not my cup of tea. Anime is not really a big thing with me. It's beautiful stuff, don't get me wrong with it. So I like Sailor Moon. In fact, I want Sailor Moon for Christmas on Blu-ray. That's one of the few things I do want because I love that series. So that's about as far as I go with it. So to have all these games from Japan on the 3DS and enough of the, golly, at least it seems like over half of their games were for 3DS. I don't own one. Put console games out there. You have this, 3DS is already established. It's going to make money. You need to create more and more games for this Wii U that is currently sitting in my living room as a paperweight until I get Smash Brothers for it later on next month. And I'll get Splatoon for it too. My son's getting these 2 things for his birthday. Granted, he'll probably play it more than I will, so he gets a lot of enjoyment out of it. The whole family does. I love my Wii U. The fact that you can put Wii games on the Wii U too, and it's backwards compatible, makes it so much better. In fact, now that I know this, I will probably go out and buy a couple of Wii games for it next time I get paid. Yes, GameStop still does sell them. dirt cheap too. So that's what I want to talk about as far as E3 goes. Yoshi's Woolly World, the woman that they showed making, who had to make the wool animals and or the actual woolly Yoshis or whatever they were calling it was it was fantastic. Glad to see a girl, a woman get involved with gaming. I'm a big advocate, ever since last year and the whole Gamergate thing happened, and oh, women want equality in the video game business. Absolutely, you should have it. However, I do think that if once the negative criticism starts coming their way, women out there in the video game world, if you want to be an indie developer, don't you need to learn how to take constructive criticism, because don't sit there and get all pissy and wishy-washy when somebody criticizes your shit for being for being the shits, for lack of a better term. You know, guys get ragged on for bad games, the indie developers get ragged on for bad games. It goes with the territory. When I worked I used to work at Kroger all the time, and I worked in the meat department at Kroger, okay, and we had two women that worked there, and I always got told, you're a man, so you should unload trucks and you should do all the heavy lifting. I have no problem with doing some heavy lifting, but my problem is that women in this country have fought for equality and still are fighting for equality in many ways. And then when something like that, oh, you're a man, so you should do the heavy lifting and shouldn't have to do certain things, or you should have to do certain things, but yet we don't have, we want the full pay and we want the full rights and everything, but we don't want to do the work that goes along with it. Because I just don't. It's a double standard that they put up, and I don't like it. So indie developers out there, if you're a female indie developer and you create a game that's the drizzling shits, don't sit there and say it's sexist when a man comes up and tells you and gives you constructive criticism, because it's gonna happen. Prepare for it. Anyway, off my soapbox. Thank you guys so much for watching here. Wrestling news, man. CM Punk had a new shirt out because the Blackhawks winning the belt. Him and Hulk Hogan apparently had a Twitter sissy fight over the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Chicago Blackhawks. I'm glad the Blackhawks won another cup. It's pretty good. There was a thing online about some reporter for NBC Sports Network kind of brushing off the fact that the Tampa Bay Lightning came out and goes, we're injured. I don't get that in sports today. You saw that with the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. Oh, Pacquiao was injured going in, and they didn't accept his request to do something and to get a cortisone shot, so that puts him at a disadvantage. No. Because what you clearly could have said is, I'm injured. We're going to go ahead and cancel this fight and move it to a later date. Granted, everybody pay-per-views have been bought or whatever, and this was the day of. But you can always, it's card subject to change, Sorry, there's a bug flying around here. I am in my basement. But anyway, card subject to change. You tell people, okay, the fight's not happening tonight. The pay-per-view companies have your money. Here's where we have the fight schedule moved to. Either you watch that day, or you call and get refunds or get credits put on your account, okay? It's not that hard to do, folks. It's not that hard to do. And people are going to sit there and go, well, then it damages their reputation. No, dude got injured. It happens. You want to see these two fight at their best? Whatever. With the Tampa Bay Lightning situation, injuries happen in hockey all the time. Hockey is probably one of the most brutal contact sports out there. It's the sport of kings. There's a reason why it's $100 a damn ticket to go to a hockey game, guys. It's an awesome sport. People get hurt all the time. So to have a reporter sit there and go, I'm tired, I'm grumpy, I don't want to talk about how they were injured, because who cares? They lost. And yes, it's taking away from the Blackhawks' victory if we're gonna throw the Lightning a pity party. I agree with that. Let me see if I can find this guy's name here real quick, because I want to give props to him. I want to make sure that he gets the props that he deserves, because let me see here. Maybe it's under sports. Give me one moment here. I can't find it. Yahoo Sports had a thing on it earlier. I can't find it. It's Mike Milbury. Okay, there it is. Mike Milbury. Somebody, he goes, it's late. I'm grumpy, and I really don't care about that. A lot of people are saying, oh, Tampa, an injury news filtered out after Tampa Bay lost Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals to Chicago. Milbury got pretty not happy with how it was handled and looked at it as an excuse by the Lightning, which it is. It's an absolute excuse to come out there and go, well, we were injured, so we were basically a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. Well, don't show up for the fucking contest if you know you can't, if you're injured and you know that's going to inhibit your ability to win. It's called forfeiting. Or you put some guys on the line that aren't injured and hope that they can pull through and do their best. Hockey has many lines for a reason. They have, come on. Tampa Bay coach John Cooper went out of his way in this post-game news conference to not talk about injuries and let Chicago have their moment. That is a stand-up thing to do. John Cooper, kudos to you for doing that. Somebody, Melissa Gishwind, put on Twitter, full transcript of Milbury's comments. Note that this is someone whose job it is to share information with the viewers. Okay, the information was already out there. Whether he wants to talk about it and give his opinion on the matter is a totally different story. It's not sharing information. They came out and said, okay, they were injured going into it or they had sustained injuries. There's your information. A reporter's job, a journalist's job, 9 times out of 10 is to give you their opinion on things. So, if Milbury doesn't want to give his opinion, hey, the game's over. I want to wrap up this and go home. Okay, who cares? Dude's doing his job. He did his job. He gave his commentary. He talked about he's like, the injury card is bullshit, basically. And I agree. Anyway, I'm going to get off here, guys. The word is that Lesnar and Michael Cole settled out of court. And that's why Lesnar's suspension got lifted. Whatever floats your boat. I'm glad Lesnar's back. Let's see Owens versus Lesnar at SummerSlam. I would love to see it. I don't think, it could be rushing that match a little bit, but I've said all along, and I'm going to have more on this tomorrow, why I think it will make a good program, including the promos that I could see those two cutting back. Yes, you're going to see Joe White cut promos. Armchair booking. It's good. I've been told I cut good promos. Anyway, I don't know about all that. I'm not in the business, but I can armchair book a Monday morning quarterback or whatever they call it, Tuesday morning quarterback, whatever all I want to. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. You guys, thank you so much for watching. And thank you. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I would love to have 800 subscribers to this thing. So everybody that's listening to 1640 PWPR, please go ahead and subscribe. This is going to likely be the New Search Live episode for this week. I'm going to piece this in together with what I'm doing tomorrow. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. I thank you so much for subscribing to the YouTube channel if you are subscribing. Thank you so much for listening on 1640 PWPR. All 842 of you, I think it was. Thank you so much. It really makes me humble, and it really makes me thankful to have, such a network of people behind me like King Firehawk and everybody else over at 1640 PWPR. Thank you guys for making this show the #1 listened to show on the network. I blush as I say that because it makes me happy, guys. It makes me happy to know that I have 800 people who are willing to listen to me. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you down the road. Part 2 of this is coming up tomorrow, and for those of you listening to the audio version of P2P, or P2P, where did that come from? Hoy vey. New Search Live.
Burger King presents broiling versus frying.
I just can't figure it out. Everybody knows flame broiling beats frying nearly 3-to-1. It's all over town, and McDonald's is frying their hamburgers all over town. Well, I like them flame broiled. So what are you gonna do? I got it. Go to Burger King.
Alright, 1640 PWPR, 1640 PWPR. I want to talk a little bit today about WWE 2K16. Yes, the video game that's coming out in October for WWE's video game. It's coming out for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. Why at this stage in the game are they still making games for 7th gen consoles? I don't know. But I will say that 1.3 million copies last year of 2K15, which was 2K Sports' first WWE game since buying the franchise pretty much from THQ when it went under. They did 1.3 million copies on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and they did 1.13 million copies on 360 and PlayStation 3. Granted, this was not a lot of people owned a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One at the time. Those numbers have drastically changed. So I'm curious to see how those numbers do this year with the video game. But the huge news coming out of E3, which is the Electronic Entertainment Expo, I believe it's called. I just call it E3. Who cares what it stands for? It's the Christmas of video games. You find out what's coming out. You find out what's coming out, soon. You find out what's already out. The newest and greatest in video games. It's like a convention for video games. World Champion Seth Rollins, former Divas Champion Paige, Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose, Wade Barrett, and NXT Superstar Finn Balor, yay, were announced as the first playable characters in WWE 2K16. 2K Sports confirmed that on Tuesday. According to 2K Sports, WWE 2K16 will feature the largest roster in WWE video game history, and there will be upcoming news released in the coming weeks. Are you guys excited for this? I know I am. If you're watching the YouTube version, please leave this in the comments below. A lot of people go, well, I'm watching the YouTube version. Why does he say if you're watching? Because we do a podcast. This show actually gets put up in podcast form as well each and every week at 1640 PWPR. It's facebook.com/1640 PWPR. They got to do they need to step up their game with 2K16. I'm sick and tired with WWE games, and they started this with the Legends of WrestleMania video game. I'm so sick and tired of the recreate history thing. I really am. I'm sick and tired of, having to do matches. Why can't they come up with an original storyline of their own, run it by WWE, and get their approval for it? Now, a lot of people are going to go, because WWE would never approve of a storyline like that doesn't run in canon with the current one. You're right. Maybe that's the case. But I'm so sick and tired of having to, recreate this thing in history, and recreate this thing, and recreate this rivalry, and recreate this. I don't want to recreate anything. I want to do something original, man. That's what made games like Here Comes the Pain and Shut Your Mouth and all those very, very, fun, and the replayability was so high because you can, there's different paths you could take in the story mode. So yeah, 2K, if you're watching this, I don't want to see, rehashing old matches. I don't care. I have the network. If I want to relive those old matches, I'll go watch them. I don't want to play them in my video games. Sorry, I don't like it. So that's my last little bit of E3 news. I want to move on to something that I rarely talk about here as far as sports goes, and that's baseball. I'm not a big sports guy. I don't watch football. In fact, I wish the NFL would die tomorrow. Can't stand fucking football. I hate it. I watch NASCAR from time to time because I'm from the South. I have to. Anyway, actually, I like racing. I like auto racing in general, I guess. We used to do NASCAR news with the Raging Redneck back on P2P Live back in the day. So I've always had a spot, for NASCAR. I like the I went to a race last year. I went to one of the Martinsville races last year, and it was a lot of fun to see, those cars, up close and like that. It was really a lot of fun. So I'll watch NASCAR on occasion, maybe take in a baseball game or two during the year. Friday nights we go watch the local high school football team play because my nephew is on the team. I enjoy that sometimes. But I'm not a big sports guy, and when it comes to baseball, yesterday's story coming out about the St. Louis Cardinals supposedly hacking into the Houston Astros email system, just, come on, man. This is why I don't watch sports anymore. This is why I can't take any sports seriously. Because it's not about the game anymore. It's about what team is doing this, and what team's doing this, and what player's screwing this, and what player's beating up his wife, and how much is this guy making. Just shut up and play the game. You guys get paid millions upon millions of dollars to play games for a living. To play games. Yet they say Major League Video Gaming is a joke, and that video gaming, when they aired that video game competition on ESPN2 back a couple months ago, a lot of people were like, "Get this shit off my sports network. It don't belong on here." Well, fucking hell, neither does the NFL anymore, the way these guys are acting. Sorry, it's just it blows my mind how we've taken the America's pastime, and now we got one team hacking into another. What did they do? Purposely go high instead of going and hiring hitmen now, guys, we're gonna go out and hire nerds and hackers. We need a nerd. I can see it now. They're sitting around the St. Louis board table, all dark and desolate, and they're like, "We need a nerd. Jimmy, go out and hire the best nerd you can, and we're going to hack the Astros, even though they're not even in the same league as us." They're not. One's American League, one's National League. Come on, guys. At least hack your direct competition. And then someone's out there going, "Well, Joe, wrestling's fake, and you watch it." Yeah, wrestling tells you it's fake. Wrestling has driven by storylines like this, Solomon Crow's character at the beginning was a hacker, so, which they kind of strayed away from that, haven't they? It's funny how that works. I just think that, I can't take football seriously no more. It's a brutal sport. People are constantly getting concussions and everything else, and they do the same in pro wrestling, but we're not sitting here smacking each other in the head with helmets on here in pro wrestling, The object when you get in the ring, what a lot of people don't know, hey, come here, I'm going to tell you a secret. Hey, the object of pro wrestling is to protect your other man in the ring. Because if you protect him and he stays healthy, you both make more money. The object in football, run right the fuck over the guy. We don't care what he does. We don't care how you hurt him. Like the NHL, like I was talking about earlier, the dudes were hurt. Well, if you know you're hurt, don't play. I just think that, baseball, football, you got to worry about, now the whole domestic violence thing came out, and people are like, well, children look up to NFL players. I can count maybe 1 in 5 kids who say they want to be a professional football player when they grow up. The rest of them talk about being cops or astronauts or president or whatever the fuck else, but I never wanted to be a football player growing up. I personally can't stand the sport and think sometimes it's more rigged than pro wrestling is. Just look at some of the outcomes and final minutes of some of these games. It totally looks scripted to me. But baseball, to me, man, baseball's America's pastime. Baseball is an actual sport that you can't really fuck up, okay? You throw a ball, and whether the ball gets to the batter or not, whether he hits it, is totally a game of chance, pretty much. Well, now they've crafted it and made it to where it's a, skill. There is skill involved in it. Sports evolve, but I mean, you could say Pete Rose was fixing the games back in the day when he was betting on them, but They're making a big deal out of one team hacking another, and the FBI is getting into it now, and it's just like, oh my God, can't we just play the fucking game? Can't we just put on a show for our fans? Can't we just entertain our fans? Because yes, when a sport starts making money off of everything, they're no longer a sport. You're an entertainment corporation. You're there to entertain the fans. The same way UFC is always talking about, well, we got to put on a good show, and we would like every fight to go to a finish and not a decision because fans can't stand decisions. They want finishes. They want to see somebody get knocked out. That's what you're there for, you know? You're there to see a good fight. I remember at the Ultimate Fighter 10 finale where they had Kimbo Slice fight live on Spike TV, and all they did was just sit there and circle around the ring for 3 rounds, and it was just like, no, come on, really? I don't get it, guys. I really don't. But, I mean, that's just my thoughts on sports. That's why I don't follow sports. That's why I'm, not constantly playing fantasy football or fantasy baseball. I don't sit there and worry about, oh, the NFL is coming. Time to spend all of our Sundays plopped down in front of the TV. Don't you dare text me when the Cowboys are playing. No. Sorry. No. I can't stand the sport of football. It's utterly boring to me. Baseball can be, people are sitting there going, well, baseball could be a boring fucking game. And you're right. Baseball could be downright boring. I mean, but I like baseball better than I like football. I mean, fucking hell, I'll go watch curling before I watch a damn football game. At least in curling, them suckers out there are wanting it with them fucking brooms. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that whole deal. I heard on the radio this morning where one guy from the Cardinals went to go work with the Houston Astros? I don't even know. That one guy from St. Louis went to go work with the team in Houston. And now the team in Houston is using, apparently they were able to get in with his login information because he knew passwords from St. Louis, and St. Louis didn't, this is what I tell people all the time. Make sure you change your passwords to your email and everything at least once every 6 months, because you never know when somebody's going to get that information and use it against you. Well, that's what happened. It's not hacking. How is it hacking if you already know the passwords? If I know my neighbor's Wi-Fi password, it's their fault for letting me have it, for letting me see it in the first place. That's why I tell my customers who call me all the time. They're like, I want to make my network open so that I don't have to put in a password because I'm too fucking lazy to understand technology. I want an open network, man. I don't want to have to sign in. I want to get on there and cruise in my porn without having to sign in every 5 minutes. Well, let me tell you, I had a customer do that yesterday. And I told him, I was like, look, this is risky. If it's an open network, people could come in and hack you if they really know what they're doing. I don't care. I just don't want to fool with this password no more. So you change it for me right now, eh? So I went in, I was like, okay, your fault if you get hacked, is literally what I told him. I was like, don't call us if somebody dips into your computer because we warned you. We have it on tape. We record every call. I made you well aware of the circumstances. And he was like, okay. So I went in and made his network open. It's no different than if you tell your neighbor, my password is ABC123, and all of a sudden, one day, I had a customer who was stealing the neighbor's Wi-Fi the other day. I was like, what you're doing is illegal. It's wire fraud. People just don't get it, man. People don't understand technology, and they don't want to understand technology, so they just want to sit there and, I want this fixed now without having to understand. I don't care how it works. I don't want to understand how it works. Don't you dare try to tell me how it works. Just fix it. It's a little different if I go to a car mechanic. You know, cars are intricate parts. The internet's a little bit more fairly simple and straightforward. But anyway, my rant is over about that. I don't understand why we just can't play the game. Why we just can't sit there and, you know, not hack everybody. I don't understand why we have to sit there and you know, why can't we all, you know, why can't we just leave well enough alone? You know, why is this something that had to be made public? Because now everybody's going to be calling them the St. Louis hackers. I mean, come on. They didn't hack anybody. From what was told, one guy went from the Cardinals over to the thing. Well, here's the thing. Come here close. Come here. You make the guy sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, which says you won't share that shit with nobody else. And then when it happens, you don't pin it on the organization. You pin it on the one guy. Come on. Anyway, that's going to do it here for this episode of New Search Live. I want to thank everybody so much for listening. Next week, Phenom Phil Stamper will join us. Does he even call himself Phenom Phil anymore? I don't know. But Phil Stamper's going to join us. And also, if you know who Nate Stein is, if you're familiar with CZW and their product, you've seen Nate Stein. That's who Nate Stein is. Nate Stein is Phil Stamper. Which one will be joining us? You'll have to tune in to find out. Thank you guys so much again for watching and listening. Go to youtube.com/tonsofun WWE or go to newsearchlive.com. Newsearchlive.com. You can, all one word, you could go there and find out, you know, find clips to this YouTube channel, links to this YouTube channel, links to Facebook, links to our email, you know, our Twitter page. Everything is on newsearchlive.com. For those of you who are watching here on YouTube, click that like button. The light button. Yeah, click the like button. Turn off the light. It's time to go to bed. Anyway, click the like button. Subscribe to us. Leave a comment below. And maybe we'll read it on next week's episode. Who knows? But thank you guys so much for watching. And again, we'll see you down the road.